Aloha, welcome to KTA Kitchens. This is Chef Maka Kwan. Today we're going to do a Thanksgiving turkey and gravy. So let's get through the ingredients. We got a 12-pound turkey here we're going to roast up. Some oil, we got some butter, some innards from the turkey, salt, pepper, carrots, celery, onion, garlic, Italian parsley, rosemary and thyme, vegetable stock and flour. Let's get cooking. What I'm going to do is rub a little oil on the turkey, give a nice gloss shine. It's going to roast it, make it brown. Also going to stick to our salt and pepper. A little oil, top the bird. And then I got a little towel so I don't make my hand all oily. Just rub it around, make it pretty. By the way, I did wash the bird, the turkey beforehand. I took all the innards out. Innards was inside the middle. And sometimes the innards are inside here in the bag. You just take them out, wash them, put them on the side, dry it out with paper towel. Then of course we got the oil. Now assembly all the vegetables in this bowl here. I'm not gonna use them all because I'm gonna save some for our gravy. So let's put some inside here. Some celery and some onions and carrots. And these are just gonna roast inside the cavity of the bird, of the turkey, okay? Some carrots here, and of course some garlic. And then some fresh herbs. Let's put that in there. Break it up. Rosemary, thyme. And then if you guys can look inside the turkey, we're just gonna go inside. Before we do that, we're gonna add a little bit of salt, pepper. So I stand up like this. It's a messy job. Somebody's gotta do it. Okay. Salt and pepper inside. And then for a little bit of fat and flavor, I put a little bit of butter and just kind of rub it inside the cavity. And this is not approximate, but about a stick of butter or a quarter pound of butter. And if you don't want too much of it, that's fine. You don't have to put it in there. And then here we go with the herbs and the vegetables. And then be sure when you're roasting the turkey, you want to make sure the turkey is room temperature. You don't want the turkey cold at all in the oven. All the herbs, all the vegetables, the salt, pepper, the butter. Now we're gonna roast it. Well, actually, we're not gonna roast it yet. We're gonna actually season the outside of the turkey and then we're gonna roast it. So here we go, back in with salt and pepper. And all these other vegetables here, we can use this when we're making our gravy, okay? And be generous. And sometimes if you have the thermometer in the bird, it's gonna work better. But if you don't, grab yourself a thermometer. We're gonna be about 160 when we're done, okay? So in the oven, I have the oven preheated at 350. We're gonna go in there, all right? All right, guys, for our second step, our gravy, we're gonna need all these ingredients, which is the innards from the turkey, which you can get actually inside the turkey itself. So usually they have the neck bone in there, the liver, the heart, and we're gonna roast all of these in this pot with, of course, our mirepoix, which is carrot, onions, and celery, of course, garlic, some fresh herbs, and we'll make a roux later on down the line with the flour and the butter, okay? So I have my pan kind of hot. I got some canola oil or olive oil, whatever kind of oil you want to use. Make sure it's nice and hot. We're gonna roast these until it's golden brown, like making toast. Nice golden brown color, okay? And it's not gonna happen really fast. It's gonna take a while. So of course, they're gonna brown 5-10 minutes. When that's brown, then we'll do our vegetables the same way, nice and golden brown. And when that's done, then we add our stock. We got about 2 quarts of vegetable stock. You can use chicken stock, vegetable stock, or even water if you want to use water, okay? We're gonna let all these things roast. Give it a few minutes. We'll be right back. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes. We got the neck bones, liver kind of golden brown. Let me show it to the camera here. You guys see that? Great. You can even go darker. The darker you go, the longer the store is, of course, much more flavor. Now let's do the same with the vegetables. So we got the celery, garlic, onion, carrots. We're actually gonna let all this roast again. The gravy is gonna be super awesome. We'll be back again. Well guys, our vegetables are nice and brown. We're gonna throw those fresh herbs there. I got some thyme, some Italian parsley in the pot, okay? And of course our stock. So we're gonna let this go for about half an hour. We'll be back. Welcome back guys. Our turkey is out. Look at that. It looks gorgeous. Well, anyways, I took it off the rack, letting it cool on the side. But if you notice in the bottom, there's all these drippings here. There's a little bit of fat in here, which we want to kind of take out. We just want to discard that because it's not really good. And then, I don't know if you can see all this, but we call this the thawed. This is the really good stuff, that roasted turkey flavor, all the vegetables in that. We want to put this inside our gravy. And this is going to just make it richer, make it taste way better. Umami flavor. Okay? So we're going to let this cook for, a few minutes to get it all infused together. And then we're going to strain everything out to the strainer into another pot so we get rid of all of these vegetables, all these impurities inside this gravy here. We're going to cook it down again. We're going to make our roux, okay? So let's do this for now. And I'll come back and show you how to make the roux, all right? So I strained out everything out of the stock here. This is just really simple 101 gravy. I got about a quarter pound of butter in here. Melt it slowly, medium-low heat, regular all-purpose flour, and we're gonna make our roux. Roux is simple. It's a thickening agent. If you wanna make sauce thicker, you make a roux. If you don't wanna use a roux, you can use like cornstarch and water. But this one has a little bit more flavor. The flour, we're gonna cook that down with the butter. Has a little more richness. So we add it into our liquid here. It's gonna give it a nice, good shine and nice, good, thick consistency, okay? So let's make our roux. I have it on a lower heat, like I said. If you put it on a high heat, it's gonna burn the butter, it's gonna burn the flour, so what we don't wanna do. If you wanna make a dark roux, you can cook it super long for about half an hour, 45 minutes. In this case, we're just gonna cook it for a good 5 minutes plus. We do wanna make it to a paste consistency. And slowly work the flour into the butter. If you just dump it in there, sometimes you dump it in there and you got too much flour, and you're like, what am I gonna do? And then you mess it up and you start all over again. So you add a little bit at a time, okay? And at this point, I'm just gonna turn off the heat. I'm gonna let that residual heat just kind of cook the flour in with a couple more minutes, okay? We've been cooking the roux for a couple minutes, kind of toasting all that flour. Make sure the butter and the flour is totally incorporated. We're gonna whisk it into our sauce here, okay? And it depends on the thickness of your sauce, your gravy you want it to be. You can put in a lot, you can put in less. But if you put it all at one time, it might be too much. Just put in a little bit at a time. You wanna be sure to cook this down for a good half an hour, at least 20 minutes to cook out all the flour. So another tip for you guys, when you're adding roux to your stock to make your gravy, you want to make sure it's boiling, that your stock is boiling. So we've been cooking this down for about 20 minutes, cooking all that flour, simmering on a lower heat. After it came up to a boil, we add the roux inside, we whisk it really good, combine everything together really well, turn the heat down to a lower temperature, simmer it for a good 20 minutes. I'm gonna taste it. That's really good. That's really nice. Guys, we're done with the gravy. Gravy's right where we want it to be. We're ready to eat it. Now, let's taste it with our turkey. Okay? You ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. Check this out, guys. Turkey, gravy. This smells amazing. I'm ready to eat this bugger right now. Drink it with your favorite white wine, Riesling, Chardonnay, you name it. Anyways, you want this recipe or any of the other recipes we make here, go to ktastesuperstores.com/recipes. This is Chef Maka saying, happy Thanksgiving, man. I see you around. Aloha.